Yo, guys, what's up, and welcome back to the Marvelous Chats podcast. This is episode 142. Tonight on the cast is myself, Finto, and Alex, aka Zeberwolf. We don't really have anything to talk about specifically, so we're just going to kind of go off the cuff, bit of an off-script episode, and we'll talk about just some nerdy news and rumors throughout the last couple of weeks because we haven't been live in a few weeks. So, without further ado, here we go. Yo, what's up, brother?
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
I'm very hungry, and I apologize for eating on stream.
How dare you? And it's fine. How are you doing, bro?
Good. Been busy with work, so trying to like flip flop. I've been streaming a bit more, trying to be a little more consistent with it, and it's been fun so far.
Yeah, I've noticed you were live on Twitch right before this podcast. So
yeah,
I was like, oh, Alex is live. I came on to like do up the podcast and get it ready to go, and I was like, oh, Alex is on Twitch right now. So yeah, if you want to watch him, he's on Twitch. Go follow him, Zaberwolf. Yeah, as I was saying in the intro there, like there's not a lot to kind of talk about at the moment. There's no new shows, or if there's any new movies that I haven't really seen them. I know Beetlejuice came out there a day or two ago. I'm not a massive Tim Burton fan, so I haven't seen it, but I'm down to talk about it if you have and you want to talk about it.
I haven't yet.
Yeah, okay. Well, I've heard some good things. Some people in my community have seen it and they've said that it's really good. Now, they're kind of hardcore Burton fans. I'm not really a Burton fan, to be honest. So for me, it's one I can wait for a digital release. Like I'm not going to, organize a babysitter and pay $70 to go see it in the cinema. Like, I can wait, it's not that,
exactly.
but I'm not pushed to watch it, but I don't know. I always kind of found when I watched the first Beetlejuice when I was young, I probably saw it too young. I think I watched it when I was like 10 years old or something. And it was just kind of weird and freaked me out and stuff, and then I kind of just didn't really want to watch it again after that. I know there's like a big kind of cult following to Tim Burton stuff. I don't know. I like his Batman movie. That's probably about it, really. Like I know he has good movies. I'm not saying he doesn't, but they're just not my cup of tea.
I get that. I 100% get that. I mean, considering that, Tim Burton's a very quirky kind of character.
Yeah,
has good direction.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of the things that he's directed or created essentially goes in the right direction, even if it starts wrong.
Yeah,
it just feels right after a while. It's kind of like it's weird to think about, but like I really do enjoy a lot of Tim Burton stuff. I don't think I've ever had anything that I was like, ugh, that sucked.
Yeah, Edward Scissorhands is a bit of a classic, but other than that, I'm not really big into like Sleepy Hollow and all those ones and all the Tim Burton ones and stuff. It's not really my cup of tea. So, but I'll watch the new Beetlejuice, but I'll just wait for a digital release and I'll grab a copy then.
Yeah, maybe we could review it then.
So you're not an Edward Scissorhands fan. Look, I understand Edward Scissorhands is a bit of a classic. I wouldn't be rushing to watch it, let's say. But I do know it's a good movie. I'm not going to deny that it's a good movie, but it's just not something that I would rush to put on. Or if I was thinking, oh, I'd love to watch something tonight, what will I watch? Edward Scissorhands would never pop into my head. And I'm not sure if I've seen Sleepy Hollow, but I've heard it's a good movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up, Shark? Guys, massive shout out to everybody in the chat. Freak Lime, Griff. Welcome in, guys.
Finto's not too young for Edward Scissorhands. Like we're around the same age, aren't we?
I think I'm older than you, bro.
How old are you?
35.
Oh, you're 30. Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, like yeah,
I'm a 90s baby, bro. Well, as in, like I was like growing up in the 90s. Like I'm actually technically an 80s baby, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you were born into the night. You were born and raised into the 90s.
Yeah, like I had a Sega Mega Drive. I got the PS1 when it was new, PS2. I remember it all. Yeah. Shout out to anybody in Zaber's stream earlier. Hell yeah, guys! Make sure you go give him a follow. I think you're one away from 200 on Twitch.
I am.
Let's make it happen, guys. Let's make it happen.
The funniest thing
Links
though
below.
Is like, the funniest thing though is like the a lot of the times I see a bunch of bots coming in and they're like, hey man, I see you're like having a good stream. I'm really enjoying your time. Maybe you should like get me on Discord. And it's like,
yeah, they're graphics designers and stuff. I get that all the time, man. GFX people adding me on Twitter and adding me on Discord and stuff, and it's like, just fucking come into the server if you want to talk to me. Like, they try and
Yeah,
like
like
add you as a friend and DM you and stuff, and I'm just like, I'm not interested, bro. Like, join the server, talk to me there, like put your shit in like the self promo channel if you want. Like, I've had people come in that I've had like bot reactions with GFX people, and I've had like
mhm.
non-bot reactions as well, like real people actually coming in and trying to, you know, sell me their services. And I'm like, if you want to join the server, if you want to throw your like ads up in the self promo section, go for it. And a few of them have, and they've been and gone, but I've no problem with them doing that. But just when you're trying to like DM me on Discord, like, and adding me as a friend, and
Yeah.
you're not even in my server, it's like, fuck off, please.
Yeah, exactly.
I have
Like
no time for
seriously,
you.
like if you really like it's I know this sounds a little pretentious, but it's like if you really want to get like a streamer's attention, you
Yeah.
follow them, you sub to them,
Mhm.
you wait a little bit, maybe like wait a month and be like, maybe I can plant something in there a little bit later.
Yeah.
And then you kind of inch your way in and be like, hey, I'm a graphic designer. If you need anything, just let me know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
I
be
actually
like
had a.
it, but
I was gonna say
I
I had a funny interaction there probably about a month ago now at this stage, where someone messaged me and was just like, "Hey, are you planning on like rebranding soon or something?" And I was just like, I was like, "No, not really. Why?" And it's like, I was just like, "Oh, well, like I noticed like some of your panels are slightly off and stuff." I just kind of felt like just going, "Well, actually, I know the artist who did them, so fuck you."
yeah, you can go fuck yourself.
It's so funny, bro. And I was just like, ever so nicely, I was just like, "No, no, I'm not looking to do anything now, but I'll keep you in mind, sure." I
Yeah, like
won't. I won't.
right. Like just be like a traveling salesman. Leave your card. We'll like if we're interested, we'll call.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
you'll always see they always follow you on Twitter and stuff like that, and then they don't even interact with you on Twitter. They just have you to be there, and then I know they'll like your go lives and stuff, and then that's it. They're gone. Like, so I don't know, bro. Silly stuff.
Hmm.
But anyway, just bounce into a few topics. I'm gonna just kind of maybe shout a few things out. We might not stick on them too long, and we might just kind of just pass over a few things, and whatever kind of sticks to the wall, we'll talk about. But yeah, we'll see where it
Leave your
goes.
card.
Let's go. First one, I can't remember if we talked about it or not, but the Acolyte was officially cancelled. Did we talk about this
Mm,
officially?
I
Like,
I don't
I think
think we
I,
did.
yeah, like I think we kind of knew that it wasn't going to get renewed, or if it was, it like was going to be another failure. But um, yeah, it's been officially scrapped for season two, and there's been a lot of grief about it online. A lot of people kind of trying to save it. I've seen like hashtags save the Acolyte and stuff, and they're celebrating getting like 50,000 signatures, and I'm like, bro, if you had 50 million signatures on a petition, like it still probably wouldn't get renewed. Like, these people are just absolutely delusional to the fact
Well,
that they think they can save this show, bro. It's like,
yeah.
if all these people that were like talking about the Acolyte online actually watched it, maybe they would have saved it. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
these people themselves didn't even watch it. It's literally like the worst fucking rated show, worst viewed show on Disney Plus. It's like, of course it's going to get cancelled. They binned 180 million down the toilet making the first season. What are they going to do? Do another 180 million for the second season? At least
Yeah.
it's an absolute no brainer. Like, whatever. Like, I can guarantee you, if the first season made money, no matter if everybody fucking hated it or not, if it made money, there'd be a season two.
Mhm.
It's not about if fans like it or not. It's if it makes Disney money. If it makes them money, they're gonna make more. If it doesn't make them money, like, do you know what I mean? Like, all these people kind of slaying it online and stuff. Disney wouldn't
Mhm.
give a fuck about any of those people if the show was making money and there was like a kind of corner of the fan base that liked it.
Yeah,
There, there,
exactly.
nobody likes it. Nobody watched it. It's not making any money. It's gone. Like, you know what I mean? It's as simple as that, really.
Exactly.
It's all ones and zeros. So I don't know, bro. I think it's people are trying to go a little too deep with it, and they're trying to blame, the far right and all this crazy fucking shit, like trying to bring politics into fucking a TV show. Like, it's crazy, dude. Just let it
Yeah,
go.
well,
Move on.
I mean, it's like, they it's kind of funny when you think about that too, because like as much as they're like trying to put politics into it, like they did a lot of PC shit in that show, and it wasn't really snagging. Like
No,
it was,
lead balloon, bro. Lead balloon stuff. Like, it just did not go at all. And I think, you know, I'm all about representation and stuff like that. Like I never have a problem with females showing up or
Right.
people of different races or any of that stuff. Like I'm all like, just give us good stories. I don't care who they're about. But it's like I think it's gotten to a stage where it feels so forced now that it's backfiring. You know what I mean?
But
It's so it's
they're literally using the force.
yes, literally, bro. It is actually backfiring. Like, you know what I mean? And like even like I saw during the week, Jenna Ortega said in an interview on her Beetlejuice press tour, she was talking about like, you know, females in movies and stuff. And she was kind of saying, like, look, you know, we don't even want, you know, remakes of male films. Like, you know, they don't want like a female James Bond, like they want new characters. And that's the right
Yeah.
attitude. That's absolutely the right attitude to have. You know what I mean? The last thing you want to be doing is doing like another reboot where it's like a successful male character is just getting like a gender swap or something. Like it's like we know all the tricks at this stage and we're just not falling for it anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just
Yep.
silly. Like just make new characters, make new stories, and you'll get a much bigger interest in it. Like I think, you know, we talk about it on the podcast all the time, but there's people say all the time, you know, it's like, oh, everybody's just kind of sick of, you know, the same kind of regurgitated stuff over and over again, and there's fatigue with, like, you know, comic book stuff and Star Wars stuff and science fiction in general. And you know, then it just takes something like Dune 2 to come out where it's an absolute sensation, takes something like Deadpool and Wolverine to come out where it's literally the highest fucking grossing rated R movie of all time ever. You know, it's like the fans are there, they just want good stuff. You know, we want good movies, good stories, good cast, good acting, good directing, you know. And when you have all that, obviously the movie's going to do good. Like, do you ever
Mhm.
hear? It's quite rare that you hear of a movie that is genuinely a great film but is a fail. Think about that. Like, you know, there's plenty of like movies that I would consider to be bad movies, but they do well because for, you know, one of those reasons. They either have some good actors in it, they've got potentially a good script, like some good acting. It might not be a story that I'm too vested in, but
Mhm.
it does well. But it might not, like, say, like, score well on IMDb, but it's a successful film.
Right.
It's very rare that you see a movie that is like scores really well, you know, like an 8 or a 9 or something, and it's not a success. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's you usually see it the other way around. Like you don't really see it like a movie like Oppenheimer. Like if that made, like, there's no way that movie's not going to make money in the box office because everyone just wants to go see it because it's an experience to see it. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I like they need to just go back to making blockbusters. Basically, I feel like I don't know if, like, when you were a teenager, I used to love the summertime because it's like, oh my god, the blockbusters are coming, you know? It's like we're gonna get some experiences in the cinema because it's like that's when they used to release all the fucking like Transformers and stuff like that, like, and shit that was just like have you pinned to the back of your seat, like when you were a teenager. Like you're like, holy shit, like all the big
Right.
summer blockbusters used to be just amazing. And I kind of feel like that's kind of been diluted a bit or something, or they're a little more spread out, or maybe they're just not as many happening anymore. I don't know what it is, but God, I used to remember, like, again, back before cinemas were crazy priced and everything. Like, I remember my mom used to give me like €10, which would probably be about $15 at the time, and you'd get your bus fare
Damn.
to and from the cinema, you'd get your cinema ticket, you get your food, and that your whole day would be done. You know, like if for like $15, like, you know. And now it's kind of like it's just, I don't know, man. I just feel like if I go to the cinema once a month, I'm lucky. Like, you know, there's like nothing to watch. Like if I want to go to cinema tomorrow, I don't even know what I'd watch. I'd probably go see Beetlejuice, but I don't want to see that movie. You know what I mean? Like I just probably, if I really wanted to go to see a movie, that's probably the only really good thing out at the moment. I don't even know.
Gotcha. And like, I would say like Beetlejuice is another one of those homages, things that you wouldn't necessarily want to, like, you wouldn't think to watch something like that anymore. It's like, okay, so that was kind of a one and done movie.
Yeah,
Um, and somehow they just kind of pull something out and they're like, hey, you know what? Let's do a sequel. Let's see what happens. You know, what happened to Lydia afterwards? Like what, you know, what's going on with Beetlejuice? Like, did he actually get his number? Was he, like, you know, still he was stuck in the queue for so long? Um, and I think I think that's the fun part of it, like especially for a sequel like that. So I could see the appeal of wanting to go see it, especially if you liked the original. But for our sake, like, you know, for you and me, I feel like we watch something and we're happy with it, and like when it comes to movies like that, it's like that's cool. I want to see like a cinematic masterpiece, so I'll just wait for an actual like AAA movie to come out, which
Yeah.
that's why we go see Deadpool. That's why we go see, Oppenheimer, and I know you didn't like it, but that's why we go see Barbie.
I didn't see Barbie on the big screen, but
I thought
I
you
didn't.
did.
No, I didn't know. No, I went
Oh,
to see it. I went to see Oppenheimer. I did watch Barbie though digitally, and I didn't hate it. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad either. Like I watched it with
right.
my girlfriend and my sister, and I liked it more than the two of them did, which I thought was quite funny. Um, Let me show you something real quick because this is I saw this just while we were talking. I was like, I got to bring up my cinema right now and just like, kind of what's showing on the big screen, right? So
Mhm.
Beetlejuice obviously taking up all the IMAX screens and stuff. This is kind of the big movie at the moment. Um, Something here that has shocked me, and I don't know why, but obviously Alien Romulus, that doesn't shock me, but something down the line here. I'm actually going through a bit of a rewatch of like Prometheus, and I watched Alien Covenant last night. I had never seen that movie before, so I'm kind of like gearing up to watch Romulus. But again,
Mhm.
I'm gonna probably wait until it gets released digitally. I won't watch it. Um, I've no interest in watching the Blake Lively film. Deadpool's still out. There's Despicable Me 4. This one here looks quite good.
Despicable Me 4.
I'm
Like
sure that I'm sure
that
this is great. I'm just not. I don't want to spend the money to see it. You know what I mean?
gotcha.
Like my son would love this, like, and he's already seen it, but like I'll watch it with him, but again, it'll be a digital watch. This Blink Twice one looks quite interesting, but
Mhm.
again, it's more of a digital one for me. Don't know what Afraid is. Inside Out 2, watched it the other day. Fucking fantastic film. If you're looking for like a Disney film to watch, great movie. It's already out digitally. It's weird that they're still showing it on the big screen. Fall Guy already out digitally. I watched it digitally. I wasn't really too blown away by it, but what the fuck is Star Wars Episode 3 doing here? What the hell? Episode 3 is on the big is in cinemas again? What the
I
fuck
mean,
is going on?
yeah, they always kind of bring it back in for a
They
while.
don't they don't do that shit here normally though. This is rare for here. Like
It's
genuine, like, oh man, I'm going to Paris on Wednesday. Like I'm gonna be away and I'm working Monday, Tuesday. So like I don't think I'm gonna get a chance to go see it, but man,
yeah,
Episode 3, probably my favorite Star Wars movie on the big screen.
it's very good, man.
I love it, man. I love it, and I'll never forget the day I went to see it. Like literally, it's a core memory for me. Like it's incredible. Um, I've heard a lot of people talking about Romulus saying it's good. Some of the like reviews I was watching of it say it kind of falls apart in the third act, but it's a fucking alien movie. Like they're never going to be like masterpieces anyway. So like
Right.
I watched Covenant last night, and like Prometheus is definitely better than Covenant, but I still enjoyed Covenant. I thought it was good.
That's what Sharky said. Like I was just talking to Sharky about this.
Oh, yeah,
Is
we were talking about it in Discord yesterday, so that's probably why she brought it up.
oh nice, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think she hyped up Romulus as well, like big time. Like she's saying it's very good. So
Yeah,
I'm excited to watch it.
she very much sounds like a big
She
like alien buff.
massive alien head. She reads the comics and everything, so she's big time alien fan. Um, did you watch any of the Rings of Power
I did. I stopped after episode 3.
of season 1, or are you into
Season
season 2?
2.
Oh,
Season 2.
okay. Wow. Okay. So, as in, there's no more episodes, or you've given up? It's like shit.
It's not that I've given up. It's just like I tried to watch a bit of it the other day, and like what they were trying to talk about, just like as I was watching it, I was like, I'm kind of I'm kind of tired right now. I don't want to watch it.
That's not a good show. Like, was it in the middle of an episode, or did you finish the episode and you were like,
It's
"That's it,
like
I'm done."
it was like at the beginning. I was like, never mind.
Oh, that's not good. We're not selling it here. Sorry, Amazon. Um, this is the most expensive TV show ever made, right? And season 1 was a bit of a flop. Didn't rate as highly as they wanted it to. Definitely didn't get as many views and streams as they wanted it to.
Mhm.
And season 2, I I think they had already kind of confirmed season 2 was going to happen before season 1 even aired. But I would be surprised now after season 2. I would say they're probably going to try and wrap it up in this season because again, this show is hemorrhaging money, and they're not making it. They're not making it back, and they're kind of, in my opinion, damaging the Lord of the Rings franchise with this show.
Yeah,
They're
the
pissing
lore.
off a lot of Tolkien fans. They're pissing off a lot of Tolkien fans. I haven't read the books. I'm not a big fucking sweaty for Lord of the Rings. I like the first three movies, and that's it. I've never liked the Hobbit
Mhm.
trilogy. So for me, I'm the original trilogy. That's it. I haven't read the books, but those original three movies are where my Lord of the Rings heart is. And if I'm ever doing rewatches, I just watch the extended cuts of them, and that's it. Like, I'm tapped out. Then I'm 12 hours. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's all the Lord of the Rings I need. So for me,
But
I'm like, ugh.
by the way, Finto, I had a quick question. Are the Harfoots like Irish?
I think so. I don't know. I think they sound Irish. I think some of the actors are Irish in it as well, but they do portray them to be Irish. Like, I presume, are they like the first kind of generation of hobbits or whatever? I never I
Uh,
didn't really understand
I
if they're
think,
actually an early
yeah,
iteration of the hobbits, or what's the story.
yeah. I think they're supposed to be like the ancestral,
Yeah,
like Hobbit kind of people, and it,
yeah.
you can clearly tell like they had some interesting like takes on these characters, but they're assholes. They're straight up assholes. Like you slow down even once during this whole situation, they're like, you're off the fucking team.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up. And so that's why, like, I'm thinking that, like, I don't know how the lore goes for how the hobbits came to be, but it feels to me like, maybe like a few hobbits were like,
Fuck
fuck it, we
this.
got left behind.
Yeah.
We got left behind. We're gonna stick right here. We're gonna call it the Shire. We're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is a nice place. What's this place called where we are? The
It's-
Shire. Oh, yes, this is our new home now. Yeah,
Yep.
I'd say that's probably what's going to happen. Like, and yeah, you'll sit through the whole thing and watch it, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, that was like painfully obvious. I really feel like
Right.
it'd be, and like again, like the first season was very painfully obvious as well. It's
Mhm.
pretty obvious that Sauron was the character who he was. It wasn't really a kind of jaw dropping like cliffhanger moment, and I haven't watched any season 2 yet, but have they confirmed the dude to be Gandalf as well? He's like a young Gandalf or whatever. It's
No, but they're doing the most annoying thing ever, which is like, what should we name you?
oh god. How about
Let's give
Gandalf the Grey?
No, like not yet, but
Yeah,
it feels like it's very much gonna go like, let's call you Dedandon.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
call you Gunderbaum. And it's like, are you gonna call him Gandalf by the end of the season?
yeah, yeah. Or he'll like just remember who he is, and
Yeah.
my
And
name is
he's
Gandalf.
well, and he's starting to speak a little bit as if he is Gandalf. So I'm like, all right, you guys are really trying to set this up.
At the minute I saw him, I was like, "That's Gandalf." Like, there's no way it's not. you know? Oh, dude, I don't know. It's
It
crazy.
yeah, it's like we'll see how it plans out over time. I think like I'm gonna continue with it.
I'm gonna
I don't know.
I never do this, but I'm actually not gonna bother. And what I'm gonna do is when it's said and done, I'll just binge it. I'll try and do it in a weekend or something, and
Okay.
just get it out of the way. I'm in no rush. I don't really give a shit if I see a spoiler on Twitter or something like that. It doesn't bother me. So
Mhm.
I'm just gonna wait till it's all done, and I'll just try and binge through it if I can.
Okay.
How
Well,
many? Do you know how many episodes there are gonna be?
fuck, I don't even know. Like I didn't even think about it.
Yeah,
Um, I
probably.
would think
Yeah, probably
eight. I think
10.
they're
Yeah,
like that
eight or
seems to
10.
be like the magic number right now.
Mm, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so there's probably about like 4 or 5 weeks left of it.
Yeah.
Griff
It,
thinks that there's going to be 8. Yeah, I think
yeah.
8 is the magic number. Um, yeah, man, I just don't know. Like, I've no fucking itch to watch the show at all. I don't feel like I'm missing anything, which is like
Right.
like it's crazy to think it. You know what I mean? Like, if you were to like say to 15-year-old us, like, uh, they're gonna do like a TV show with like $1 billion budget
Mhm.
about Lord of the Rings, you'd be like, "What?" You'd be like, "Oh my god, that's gonna be incredible," And
Right.
yeah, it's just not like it's insane, bro. Like, and I titled this episode of the podcast "Nothing But L's," and like there's been so many like over the last couple of years, like fucking the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, man. Like I always go back to this, but that show should have been the easiest home run of all time. You got Ewan McGregor back, you got Hayden Christensen back as Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker, and you're doing flashback scenes. You know, like it should have been the easiest fucking win of all time. You even got like what's his name back to play Uncle Owen and all. I can't think of the
Oh,
actor's name.
I can't remember
He's
his
a good
name.
actor though. He's a good actor. Like, and he kind of went on to do a lot of cool stuff after Star Wars. So it was
Mhm.
kind of cool that he came back to even do it. And it's just it should have been the easiest fucking win of all time.
But it
Really,
wasn't.
it just wasn't. It just wasn't. But I will give props where props are due. The Kai Patterson movie cut of Kenobi is brilliant. Brilliant. And it's a free download. You can get it. I'll post it up on Discord if anybody wants. Just give me a shout and I'll send you the link to it. But he basically took all the shit out of the show and compressed it down to like a 2.5 hour film. He put his own
Ooh.
score. He put his own score in, so he has all like the OG Star Wars music in it, and it works perfectly. Like the last fight between Obi-Wan and Vader, he has his own fucking like he has like episode 3 music in there and all. Oh, bro, it's magical. It's so good. And this week, only maybe about 5 or 6 days ago, he put up his Ahsoka movie as well, and I watched it, and it's fucking amazing. It's so good, bro. Again, he just took out all the bullshit, like the way the way they had all the stupid bits at the end where like they were fighting all the zombie stormtroopers and all. All that's
Yeah.
gone. There's none of that's in it. It's all gone. It's all gone.
That's
The
good.
the end is just Ahsoka fighting what's her name, the Night Sister, and he actually put
Oh,
in
yeah.
his own scene or his own like end scene where she kills him or where Ahsoka kills her, and like
Mhm.
he put in a thing where she chops her head off, so he actually had her head come off. It was actually really cool.
That's
And again,
that's awesome.
it's so cool, man. It's so well done as well. Like it actually looks like it's part of the show. It's insane. And like even like the first 10 minutes into it, like he's got like OG Star Wars music, and it just like the way he's kind of chopped it up and everything, and the pacing of it is just phenomenal. It looks just like a Star Wars movie as well. So like, yes, I hate these shows because like they were just not what they should have been. But I'm so thankful that this guy has made movies that I now have forever. And if I am doing like my rewatches, I'll watch episode 3 and then I'll watch his Kenobi movie and then I'll watch A New Hope. It's like such a perfect bridge between the two. It's phenomenal. And then like after you watch episode 6 now, you could watch his Ahsoka movie straight after episode 6, and it just like flows and makes sense. It's crazy. Like this
I just
guy is doing what Disney should be doing. He's doing it himself at home in front of his own computer. It's fucking insane.
right. But that's the sad part, man, is like it's never going to be considered canon.
Oh, I know. Well, it technically is, because what he's doing is he's actually taking like it's all like, I suppose he kind of manipulates a few things, but he's not really changing the storyline. He's using all of the he's using all of the footage and stuff from Disney, but he's
Mhm.
just reshaping it and changing the pacing of it and stuff like that, and maybe just editing like the score and stuff. So technically it is the same story, like it is canon, but he's just kind of changing the order, if that makes sense.
Mm, yeah, okay. I could see that. I just,
Do you
you
remember
know,
when you're watching Kenobi and Vader lets him burn in the fire, and then he just kind of turns around and walks away. He just leaves him there, and you're
yeah.
kind of like, "What the fuck is he doing? Like, why is he doing that?" This dude made his own additional parts of that scene where a stormtrooper walks up beside Vader, and it's like, "Sir, should we pursue him or whatever and go get him?" And he put in his own lines where he was like, "No, not yet. It's not the time," or whatever, and made it just kind of flow, make a bit more sense. Like
Mhm.
it's just little things that we all complained about when we were watching it, and he just went and fixed them all. It's beautiful, man. It really is. Like, I'll send you the links to them, and if you sit down and watch them, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that was bullshit," and wow, he fixed this and he did that, and you notice it straight away. Like, it's so good, so good. Griff, I'll DM you. I'll send you those links privately. I'm not going to post them publicly here, but I will send them to you. Bit of gaming news. I know we're not really a gaming podcast, but
No, we're
again, just
absolutely a gaming podcast. We just have a lot of movies to talk about.
yeah, we're a gaming podcast, but movies just get in the way. Um,
Exactly.
Concord, bro. Did you play it? Did you hear about
Fuck
it?
no,
Do you know?
I didn't play it. I
It's
was
like
never gonna play that fucking thing.
I didn't want to play it either. And to be honest, I know one person who was hyped to play it and bought it and wanted to buy me a copy of it so that we could play it together. And I was like, please don't buy me a copy of it. Not that I don't want to play it. It's like, just in case I don't like it, I would feel bad if somebody paid full price for a game for me as a gift. You know what I mean?
Please
Like,
tell me it wasn't Max.
it wasn't Max, no.
Okay.
It was a guy named Ace from the community. But
Okay.
basically, I had kind of said to him, look, play it yourself. If you're really loving it and, I do want to play it, I'll just buy it myself. I'm not going to ask you to buy it for me. Of course, that's ridiculous. But, basically, it was out like 2 or 3 days. I started hearing about the Steam numbers. There was like less than 200 live players on Steam playing it. I know it's a PlayStation game, but less than 200 players on Steam is absolutely outrageous for a brand new like AAA release from Sony.
It's ultra fucked at that point.
Oh Jesus Christ! Like that alone was enough to kill it. But then, the Sony servers were doing no numbers either, and they just officially said 6th of September we're going to turn all the servers off. That's it, and every single person who bought the game got a refund. It took them 8 years. 8 years to make the game, cost 200 million, and I think in the first week they made 2 million in sales, and they've had to refund that 2 million. So now they've just lost 200 million altogether, and wasted 8 years of people's lives. And like, what's shocking to me is, again, I only know one person who played this game and liked it, but the fact that not that I consider myself a fucking genius gamer or anything. I think I'm fairly fucking plugged into the gaming world. I stream all the time. I'm gaming all the time. We're in Discord chatting about games all the time. And, I've been a gamer for most of my life. And I feel like that game just wasn't marketed to me at all. Like I saw one clip of it. And again, I just wanted to watch the Sony showcase on my stream one night when it was live. I just thought, fuck it, let's watch this with the community and have a bit of fun. If I didn't watch that showcase, I would have seen nothing or heard nothing about this game whatsoever. $200 million game, Sony PS5 game, like they're trying to bring out their own version of Overwatch or whatever the fuck they were trying to do, mixed with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like that game should have been like absolutely like promoted to me like fuck. You know what I mean? It's like a Marvel kind of fucking Guardians kind of rip-off game made for PlayStation. Someone like me should have been getting hounded with like suggested ads and promoted ads for that game left and right.
100%.
I didn't see one. I heard one person talk about it in my stream, and I saw one video on it, and that was it. Didn't know any of the names of the characters, didn't know who they were. There was no marketing, nothing. Like crazy. Didn't even hear about like the open beta or anything like that. Like that didn't even like cross my table at all, which is so weird, bro.
And that's horrible, man. Like not having it advertised fully. Like it almost seems like the moment they revealed it, maybe they would have had a little bit of marketing here and there, but because of the negative reactions, they're like, let's not spend any money on this.
Yeah. But like as well, like it's like obviously it's you've got Marvel Rivals coming out, Deadlock is out now as well. Like there's a lot of kind of 5v5s in the space, and obviously Overwatch probably runs it anyway, and like Valorant and all these games. Like this, I feel like it's a very diluted kind of game category anyway. So like me personally, if I was making a game, I'm like, let's stay away from the 5v5s. I think there's enough of them out there. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's like Overwatch and Valorant and all these games kind of own that space anyway. You know what I mean? Like why would we try and break into that? Like what is the fucking point? I mean, like, what did they think that they were going to claw half of Overwatch's like player base off them? Like, absolutely not, and especially not with marketing and stuff. It's insane. I don't like. Where did they think the players were going to come from? Like, it's one of these fails that's going to be studied in years to come. Like, it's going to be something. It'll be like a laughing stock in the gaming world for a long time.
More than likely, yeah.
People will be talking like, oh, like when they talk about games that are like failed releases and stuff, people will be talking about Concord for years. And on the flip side of that, you get a game like fucking Wukong coming out, which is like an amazing game that, again, everyone's just playing. Everybody loves. It just feels like very authentic. It's just, single player story mode game. It's like the highest story mode game. It's got like the highest concurrent players ever on Steam, if I'm not mistaken. And like, it's not a game that I would usually play at all. And I'm even in it, like, I'm fucking streaming and I'm playing it, like, and I'm really enjoying it. And it's just, I don't really play the Dark Souls kind of games. And it's fucking fantastic. Like, And then in the same week, there's something like Concord gets released, and it's just 200 million in the bin. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's fucked up, man.
It really is.
I don't think they really understood like the idea behind like marketing something like that. Because it's like you said, we already had like a saturated market,
Mhm.
and to just go, let's make another one for PlayStation and have it exclusively to PlayStation, which also, like, I don't know if you've also seen like some of the news about that as well, is that they've recently stated they have no IPs to work with currently.
Sony don't.
Yes, they have apparently none. Um
That's not good.
like, but how, dude?
No, like that
Like I
doesn't make
could
any sense to me. Like, they could make another Spider-Man game after Spider-Man 2, massive
no,
success. They've got
not like,
like
yeah, they have
streaming
Spider.
their own
They're,
IPs.
no. They're talking like in general. Like it's like Spider-Man, we are all aware of Spider-Man. I think what they're saying is like they're saying that they don't have any IPs currently like to output aside from, like Spider-Man
Mm.
and The Last of Us and a couple others. But like they have a whole fucking library of it, dude. Like they have Jack and Daxter, they have Sly Cooper, they have all these different
Yeah.
things, and they're telling me that like they can't revive them, they can't bring them back, they can't just like take these IPs that they've like squandered essentially and are like they're just like, we don't
Yeah.
got anything else. It's so fucked, dude. Like I
Yeah.
would love stuff like that. Like I don't know if it's just because they feel like they can't do platformers anymore, but platformers were the shit. Like that was the thing back then. And I don't know, like I would say it's still a thing. A lot of these games that you probably haven't played before that are considered indie games at this point, those games are just massively like, well received. I don't know if you ever played Shovel Knight.
No.
That game is amazing. That's like, it's like Mega Man, but like you're a knight with a shovel.
Sounds hilarious.
It's good, man. It's such a good game, and like
There's there's a big market for like tabletop games and players. There's a lot of them out there. Like even there's a few people I watch on Twitch who will just like be playing games I've never heard of, but big categories. A lot of viewers even on Twitch,
right.
like and that's for you got to think like for viewers on Twitch, there's probably 10 times the amount of viewers that are actual players. You know what I mean?
Right.
Usually, like there's usually more people playing a game than there is like viewing it as a category on Twitch or on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm,
Uh,
yeah.
It's
So
just it's just kind of fucked to think that like,
like,
this big company is essentially saying that they can't do much more with what they have, and it's like you have a whole fucking library, bro.
yeah. Well, I think what the problem is that they're all trying to bank in on a good get like a online service game that has battle passes and fucking costumes and all this sort of shit and microtransactions out the fucking wazoo. Like that's what they consider success these days, and that's kind of why there's fewer and fewer kind of just single player story mode games coming out that everything is just in the game and that's it. Like it's once off payment and you're done. They're trying to sell services, they're trying to sell DLCs, they're trying to sell fucking deluxe packages with fucking cosmetics and all this shit. Like, it's like, just give us some good story mode games. Like, let me do a once-off payment of €70 or whatever the fuck. Give me a game, and if you want to release DLC next year for the game, epic, great, let's do it. Like, but I think everything's just day one release, fucking cosmetic shops and microtransactions out the ass and battle passes here and there and just trying to just flush out like a monthly subscription off people, like, and people are
Hmm.
I think people are getting sick of it, like
Well,
um
yeah, they're getting smart to it. Like
yeah,
they're getting tired.
yeah, it's like every year there's a new FIFA or whatever they call it now. Every year there's a new like NFL, NHL, like EA games are putting out new games every fucking single year. You've got like a new Call of Duty every year. You've got Fortnite release a new season every 6 to 8 months or whatever it is. And it's like buy your new battle pass. Here's a bunch of new skins. Like spend loads of money on our game again. Like it's like
Right.
we'll do a new map or bring some new guns and loot into the game. But it's like we want you to spend another $40 or $50. Like, you know what I mean? It's like how many games can you do that for? Like me personally, you know, I spend money on Fortnite. I love Fortnite. Like I think I always will, unless they really butcher it. But you know, I'm always happy to buy the new battle pass and do a little giveaway, and you know, we have fun on day one of the new seasons and stuff. But you know, gone are the days where it's like every single month, you know, you're putting money into the game. You know, I'm only kind of doing it when I really, really like when they really catch me. But you know, I'm not doing the same thing for COD. I used to buy every single
Right.
COD game. I have a shelf behind me, and all the old COD games are there for PS3, PS4, Xbox 360. I used to buy every single game when it came out, and I haven't bought a COD game on day one in years because the campaigns are just getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and they're just not even worth buying it. And you know, multiplayer is fun and all, but you know, I'm not the type of person that can sit and grind it. Like, you know, I'm not grinding for camos and shit, and I don't know, it's just not my type of gameplay. So I can live without it, you know, and
Hmm.
like I don't mind picking the game up when it goes kind of like, you know, when it goes up like 80% off on Battle.net or whatever. Like usually they do a sale around Christmas or something. I'll pick it up then just to kind of play the campaigns and stuff. But you know, gone are the days I'm day one buying the new Call of Duty. I just feel
Right.
like it's just gaming's not right there anymore. Did I finally beat the Tiger Samurai? No, I haven't beat him yet. The last time I played the game was Thursday. This is in Wukong. Um, the last time I played the game was on Thursday, and I'll be playing it tomorrow and Tuesday, and then I'm going away for a little bit. But hopefully, I can
Let's
beat him
hear
tomorrow.
it for Tuesday.
Yeah. So hopefully, I can beat him. I love it because I messaged you about this, Alex, because Alex is a much better gamer in this sense than I am. You've been playing these types of games for years, but I remember I texted you the other day and I was like, which is easier, like the rock boss guy or the tiger? Because I'm kind of like, there's a kind of crossroads at this part of the map where I am, in the part of the game where I am. And there's
Hmm.
like these two bosses and they're both pretty hard to beat. And I've kind of tried to kind of go around and level up a little bit and see if there's other shit to do. And I found the giant rat and I beat him. And I found another guy and beat him as well. Like, so I feel like I'm kind of stuck between these two hard bosses, in my opinion. And I don't know which one is easier to beat. And I said this to Alex in a DM, and he just goes, "I don't know, I can't remember because obviously you just sailed through it in one go, probably." So like, obviously you know it wasn't hard for you, so it doesn't stick out. But that tiger in the bloodbath, the tiger in the bloodbath,
Oh, that guy was a little bit of an asshole, but like you just get used
bro.
to his
I
attacks.
had I had his life bar so far down that his health was a sliver. I could barely see it. I thought I beat him, but he was still standing. He must have had like 0.5% of health. Like it was so like a cool breeze would have knocked him over, would have been it. And I was like, oh my god, I've done it, I've done it. And he did this like sword slice fucking like dash at me, and I didn't see it coming at all. And he like that attack took half my life and it killed me. Like I was about to cry on stream. It was awful, bro. I was so
Um,
I've been close to beating him twice, and he's a fucking hard bastard to predict because I don't know if you remember this or not, but he does this attack where he jumps up in the air, but he like kind of hangs there for a minute. So
mhm.
when you start to kind of dodge to get out of his way, he like kind of stays up, you dodge, and then he kind of turns and like dashes down towards you. So it's like
Yeah.
almost impossible to fucking it's almost impossible to like dodge that attack because you have to have like a full bar of stamina so you can continuously flip out of the way. But I always find he does it at a stage where like my stamina is almost depleted, and then I don't have enough stamina to actually get away. It's so fucking frustrating because I see it coming every time. And I'm like, there's nothing I can do to avoid this. It's very frustrating. Oh man,
Yeah, sorry to hear that, buddy.
nah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm enjoying the show. So, or the sorry, not the show. I'm enjoying the game. So like, I'll definitely stick with it for a while. But yeah, like it's one of those games where I'd love to beat it. I'd like, you know, as a challenge to myself, I'd like to beat it. But
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to be, you know, stuck on this tiger boss for another two streams. Like if, you know, if I can't beat him in the next stream or the next two streams, I'll have to really reevaluate if I'm going to continue playing it because I don't get a lot of gaming time, you know, and I don't want to be one of these players that are like stuck on a boss for a week and just wasting a week streaming, like, you know. So
Yeah, I doubt you'll end up like that. Like
I hope
the
not.
way that Black Myth Wukong works is that you essentially need to just reevaluate what your abilities, what your talents are, rearrange them as necessary, and then go back to the boss and see if it works.
Yeah.
Um, and like I guarantee you, like once you get used to that idea, you'll for sure, you know, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's gonna you're gonna be like, holy shit, why didn't I use this talent a long time ago?
Yeah, yeah. Like I know. I remember you kind of gave me the tip of doing a different stance, or like leveling up one of the stances altogether. Because like I was doing the talents rather than like doing a stance first. And after you gave me that tip, like I was like running through a few of the bosses like pretty easily. So
Yeah.
I was doing it the other way around.
There's definitely essential bosses that you have to, or not bosses, but there's essential talents that you need to pick up that will basically make you a lot less likely to stop whenever you're like finishing up your combos. They'll make it so that you can chain a dodge into a combo. Like you don't have to, you don't have to dodge and then start your combo over anymore, which like I think it's a really cool concept. And it really shows like how much appreciation the game wants you to have for said combos, especially when you're able to like chain them in now.
Yeah.
So like when you do something like transformations or summons, you can essentially chain that in with your combos, which it's like the best thing to do, especially if you have like your large monster. Like you right now you're using the Wandering White, which is what almost everyone uses. I have this one called the
Big baby
non-able.
that headbutts people. Is that the one you're
Yeah.
talking about? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's fun.
It's a fantastic transfer or summon, and it's a very useful thing. You can use it throughout the entire game. It's not a bad idea. Um, Especially because it also gives you the ability to like have extra defense.
Mhm.
So like for me, I'm a combo user. I'm also very aggressive. So when I play, like I use what's called as the non-able. And so during my mixture of like light attacks, I'll transform into the non-able, which he'll do like a massive strike and then a strike to follow up, and it staggers the boss.
Nice.
So like I'm getting those moments in between where I have the opportunity now, like the window, to essentially finish up what I need to do, so
Mhm.
that I can get my focus and then use my focus, because your focus is your big spender.
Yeah.
So like you just gotta keep like building up your focus, spend your stuff, use your spells when necessary. Try not to like, accidentally cancel them or do it like right when you're about to get hit, because then you get fucked so hard
I
if
know,
that
bro.
happens.
I know. What's the one where the freezing one?
Oh,
Um,
immobilize.
yeah. Like I don't know if it's just this tiger boss is able to like counter it or something, but the like a couple of times I've gone to use it and it either doesn't ping off at the right second and it just cancels it and doesn't get used and you're just like, oh fuck, that was like such a big waste because it's like
Right.
it takes like 2 minutes to recharge it.
And in some cases, like some of the bosses will outright ignore it. Like
Yeah.
you'll stop them, and then immediately they break out. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
your
That's annoying, dude.
it's not well, it's not your fault. It's just that's how strong that boss is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I presume you can upgrade those spells like to make them last longer or be more effective or whatever.
Oh yeah, one of the first ones on that tree, like on the right hand side, it's like when you use it as you're attacking the boss, essentially every hit that you do will add a stack to them. So on your next immobilize, you stop them for even longer.
Nice. Yeah, yeah.
So it's like a
That's what I need against this guy because he's so quick. I need to slow him down.
yeah, and they
That's what I'll be trying to do tomorrow anyway.
and I'm sure you'll get it. Like
I think
I'm
I
pretty
will.
positive.
I think I will.
Yeah.
It's just I hit him at about 1 a.m. as well, and I was just so tired, and I wasn't like fully there, like so like I think starting tomorrow's stream, I'll be kind of as fresh as I can be, and
Yeah.
we'll see where we go from there.
I'm excited for
Um,
you, man.
yeah, yeah, it'll be a good watch, I'm sure. Um, I don't really have anything other like massive topic wise to talk about. Like, there's a bunch of like kind of like rumors and shit kind of floating around, and some official news. So maybe I'll just rattle these off, and we can kind of talk about them and go from there. Maybe not
Sure.
really massive amount we can talk about, but um, I think this is official news. But James Spader's returning as Ultron in the Vision show, which is going to be called Vision
Nice.
Quest, which makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Obviously, where Vision's story, like Vision came from, like he was meant to be the vessel for Ultron, right? So it
Hmm.
kind of makes sense that now we have a white Vision. Maybe he'll have like some interaction with Ultron. So like I don't know if the Ultron robot itself is going to be in the show or if it's just going to be like Spader's voice in his head or something. But I think it's cool. I like it. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Um, I love that movie. I think that movie gets a lot of slack where, or like a lot of flack, should I say, where it shouldn't. A lot of people like talk down on that film, and I think it's really good. I really like that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really didn't find anything wrong with Age of Ultron, except for maybe just like killing off Quicksilver at such a fast pace. I thought that was the weirdest thing ever. Um,
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna make a speedster joke there, but we've done it all already. But yeah,
was that really Aaron Taylor Johnson?
yeah, dude, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fucking hey, man! Like they miss out on an opportunity.
I know,
God,
but at least
dude
we
was
get
kick
at
ass.
least we get Craven now, though, right?
How do you go from kick ass to Quicksilver to Craven?
I know, I know. So it's like his resume looks pretty crazy when you stack all them up together. But yeah, he looked a lot different, and I think a lot of people don't realize he's kick ass as well. Because I
Oh
think
yeah,
a lot of people like that I would say that to would be like, "What? That's him? Wow, that's crazy! Like he's like so different now." And he was very
so
young.
cool.
It is cool. I like those kick ass movies, man. Was it the first one or the second one that Nick Cage was in it, and he was kind of like the Batman kind of character? So the first
Uh,
one,
it
or is
was
he
the
in both?
first one. It was the first one, and then the second one was with Jim Carrey.
Yes, 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 yes. I gotta rewatch the two of those movies, man. They're a
They're
good time.
good, man.
They are. They are.
The I love I love that they made them like they had kick ass and then the motherfucker.
Yeah, it's fucking brilliant, man. Great. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Um, Apparently Tom Holland was photographed going into your one, what's her name, Pascal's house this week. She's like the runner of Sony. So obviously he's going to be talking about Spider-Man 4 and stuff. So
Mhm.
like I've heard a lot of kind of rumors around saying that like that they're going in a different direction. It was meant to be like kind of a street level movie with maybe Charlie Cox showing up as Daredevil and the two of them maybe going after Kingpin and stuff. And I think now they're maybe trying to change it to more of a multiversal thing and maybe get like Toby and Andrew back again and try and like do a No Way Home Part 2 sort of thing, which I'm not really a massive fan of. Like obviously I'll be there for it and it'll be great, I'm sure, but I kind of would like to see it just be a story about Peter Parker, him trying to find his wings in New York by himself. He's like got nobody now. He's in his little small shitty apartment. Like he's got to get a part-time job to get himself through college. Like I'd like to see Tom Holland go through all that.
Mhm.
Maybe he meets, we've heard like rumors of like Sydney Sweeney coming in as like Black Cat or something. Like it'd be cool if the two of them got to meet each other in college and maybe they start up a little relationship or something and then like she becomes the Black Cat and we get a Black Cat and Spider-Man sort of thing. Like I think that like that sort of shit would be really cool. I think we kind of need to see that sort of stuff in the MCU
That'd be very
for
fun.
for Spider-Man. Yeah, I really like that. Now I know the Spidey fan base is kind of split down the middle with it. A lot of people are like, "Oh no, give us the multiversal stuff because it's going to lead better into Doomsday and Secret Wars and stuff like that." But
Mhm.
I kind of think personally that like if we did like a movie where it's Tom thinking like, oh yeah, everything's fixed, it's all normal, like I'm just a normal kid now, I got a part-time job in the Daily Bugle taking pictures of Spider-Man, and then like actually, big multiversal war coming, it'd be kind of cool to have that little kind of downward spiral for him into like a normalish life, and then just gets picked up by the Avengers again, and shit goes off 90 into the next Avengers movie. I think that'd be kind of cool. Whereas I don't know if they just ramp it up again and we go into another big multiversal thing and then it goes into Doomsday and then it goes into Secret Wars. It just feels like it's just crazy, crazy, crazy all the time. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's all over the place. I think they're trying to bite off more than they can chew at this point.
Yeah.
Because they're like they have way too many things to worry about now.
Mm.
And I mean, rightly so. Like that's that's part of comics. That's part of the whole dynamic with these kind of stories. And but at the same time, like they didn't have to do that. They could have totally just made things a bit more linear over time and just let us enjoy some of the other stories
Yeah.
on a different basis. And yes, like we've stated before, like we would love to see like team ups and whatnot. Um, but like they basically written themselves into a situation where like you have to do like big groups now,
Yeah.
which is sad. It's just sad to say because like they haven't given us anything in terms of team ups besides Deadpool and Wolverine, and look how well that did.
Yeah, yeah. And No Way Home, it was kind of probably the biggest movie again before that, which again is team ups again. Which makes a lot of sense. And like I kind of understand Sony are just making shit movie after shit movie, and something like No Way Home happens. And I kind of understand from a viewpoint of theirs where it's like, shit, can we do that again? Or can we even do half of that again? Like the
Mhm.
movie did nearly like, I don't know what the final box office was. I think it was close to 2 billion, like all said and done. And it's like, if they could do another movie and let's say it only gets 1 billion, it's still incredible. Like a $1 billion box office for Sony is like one of their best ever movies. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's a big deal. And I kind of, I suppose I understand. And, you know, everybody loved Andrew and they loved Toby and they want to see them back. And I don't know, maybe they just continue on like directly, like the first 30 minutes or 40 minutes of the next Spider-Man movie is Toby going back to the Raimi verse and, you know, meeting up with MJ. And, you know, we get to kind of see where his life is. And then, you know, Andrew gets to go back to his universe, the Amazing Spider-Man universe, like, and all that sort of cool shit. And then it's, you know, then it kind of comes for a full circle back in, and I don't know. They kick off fucking Battle World straight away. I don't know what they do, but obviously, you look, I'm a massive Spider-Man fan. I'm there no matter what they do. I think it'll be a great movie no matter what. But I do really like the idea of street level Spider-Man getting to meet like Daredevil and stuff like that. Like he's met Charlie Cox already. He knows Matt Murdock. It'd be cool if he got to meet Daredevil next. You know, like that. I
Yeah.
would really love to see that.
I mean, honestly, like I'd also be happy with him not meeting up with anybody and just kind
Oh
of
yeah,
dealing
doing
with,
solo thing. That would be
yeah,
cool too.
just
Yeah.
a couple thugs here and there, and maybe just like have it episodic to where a villain is plotting,
Well, like what you
and
could
then
do, you could do a really cool thing where the first season of Daredevil Born Again ends and it links in with the Spider-Man 4 movie in some way. You know, then like the two of them end up kind of going against Kingpin at the same time towards the end of their movies or projects or whatever. And then it's like gives them a chance to kind of meet each other. You know, something happens in New York with Fisk, and then whatever that big event is, it kind of ties the two ends of those stories together. And then, like, you know, it won't be on TV, it'll probably be on the big screen, but then you get like Charlie Cox coming into a movie to kind of do some shit with Spider-Man, but we've kind of built that up on the small screen slowly in the background with the Daredevil show. I'd be all for that, man. Like that to me is a big win. Like, but like I've been saying this for years, like they should have all, like even when they were doing the Netflix shows, like they should have just, you know, during Daredevil had like Iron Man fly through the sky or something like that, like, and just
Mhm.
try and kind of bring the worlds together. And I think if they can do it right, like they have the platform and the ability to do this now, and it's like, why are they not doing it? I just don't understand. I know you don't want Tom Holland showing up on the small screen or whatever because he's a big fucking Hollywood movie star, but like have Spider-Man swing by. Doesn't have to be Tom Holland. You don't have to get him out of bed. Like he doesn't have to leave the golf course
you know, you don't
between
have to get
movies.
him out of his jammies.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. You just have Eddie stunt double in the suit, like, and swinging by, give him a little like, you know, what's up, dude? Like that's it. Like, you know, get Tom
I mean,
Holland to record a few lines on his iPhone, and then like,
that's what they did in Civil War.
yeah, like you know what I mean. It's easy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like so I don't know, like little things like that would just be a massive win for the Disney Plus shows. Like, could you imagine what Twitter would be like the day after Spider-Man shows up on a Disney Plus show? The internet would go insane, and like Tom Holland doesn't even need to show his face. You just have Spider-Man hanging on a wall, just talking to Daredevil for 1 minute or something. Hey, dude, you hear about this like Fisk guy who just became the mayor? I think he's the kingpin or something. And then the two of them are like,
Yeah,
"Oh yeah, I'm looking into that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll keep you in the loop, bro. See ya." Like, you know what I mean? Like, even just a tiny little interaction like that would just be so big.
yeah, but then it turns into an and then kind of thing where it's like it's not really like integrating that well. Like what like you have to really think about why Spider-Man like truly cares at this point now. It should have been something like investigated in between. It could be a thing where like you get episodes where Daredevil is essentially doing something and then Spider-Man's doing something. So you do like a show instead of it being about like Daredevil Born Again, you do Spider-Man and Daredevil, or
Yeah.
the web slinger and the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. Like
Yeah.
you do something essentially like pairing the two together, but not necessarily having them interact until a little bit later into the life cycle of the episodes. Um,
What I
just
the
to
way
kind
I
of
would probably the way I would try and do it is like, maybe you'd put like Spider-Man up against like Tombstone or something in his movie, and then it's like he finds out at the end of the movie that Tombstone's just working for Fisk, and then you know, like I don't know, he hears about Fisk and Daredevil always like toe to toe, and then it's like, oh, actually, I'll go talk to Daredevil about this because he knows a lot about this Fisk guy. You kind of maybe try and work them in together that way.
why do that? Like, why not just have Spider-Man go straight up against Fisk and then lose, and then essentially get picked up by Daredevil because he
Yeah,
was beaten and battered. Do this the exact same thing that happened to Daredevil to Spider-Man, to where he like ends up waking up and he's in Daredevil's like home. He's in Matt's home doing like, and he's like, "What the hell? Where am I?" It's like, you got beat up, you got knocked out. And then it's like kind of this whole growth situation with Spider-Man still trying to learn how to be a better hero, because he's always trying to take things head on, right? Like he's always trying to consider things to be only his problem.
yeah,
And so do all the other heroes. They always have that kind of fault. So like, why not have someone who also has that situation do the exact same thing to him and be like, hey man, like, I probably could have had him. And it's like, no, you didn't. It's like all that kind of stuff. Like Spider-Man's a growing character. That's why so many kids, relate to him. So like,
right.
having him act a lot like an adult, um, albeit that he's already an adult in this time frame, he's still very much a kid. You know,
Yeah. The MCU version of Spider-Man is like kind of seasoned though at the same time. Because like if you think about it, like he's gone up against Thanos, he's saved the fucking universe, he's been to space, like all this sort of
he
stuff. He's not really at the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man level anymore though, right?
no, he still very much is. Like he got snapped. He died. He went bye bye. He didn't come back until Endgame, and even then, we only saw
True.
him for a short while.
True.
We don't know what he's actually been through. And like we saw that he came back, and Stark was like, oh my god, like he hugged him because like he missed him, and he didn't know if he was ever going to see him again, because Spider-Man cares about Tony Stark. So that's what makes it a different situation. He looks up to Tony. That's his hero.
Yeah,
Um,
I kind of feel like what Tom Holland's Spider-Man has done in the grand scheme of things, like would he really be like would Fisk be a big like challenge for him?
yes, you're out of your fucking mind if you think that Fisk isn't.
Well, like think about in the fact that like Matt Murdock has beat the shit out of Fisk and beaten Fisk, and he's just a human. Like,
That's the problem, sir. Like Fisk is 100% a character to be reckoned with. That's
mm,
why he sticks around. That's why Norman Osborn sticks around. And Norman Osborn isn't even a fucking like buff dude. Like he's strong because of this the serum that he took.
yeah,
But like he's also kind of crazy. Like they all have their different quirks. Fisk is literally like in peak human condition, and he's also a goddamn tank. Like he is tough to fight.
yeah.
It's not a situation of like, oh man, like it's just a human. No, like it's
No,
Fisk.
I'm thinking of it in the like I'm saying Matt's just a human, and Matt has like gone toe to toe with Fisk over the events of the show. Like, and
Right,
that
but
show is now canon technically, right?
Matt's like like tactical kind of character, and I would say that
Yes.
like Spider-Man's more of a brawler.
But Spider-Man is like extremely fucking like power. I'm talking power scales here and stuff. I'm probably gone a little too nerdy. Like I'm thinking about it way too much. But like I think even at 15, like this version of Spider-Man is like throwing the Winter Soldier around and everything, like and making a show of Bucky and all this stuff. Like, and he's like 14 at the time or something. It's like, you know what I mean? Like that's how powerful he is. And I think like people have like even gone into a nerdy thing of like trying to like figure out which like that he is like the strongest of the Spider-Man, like the live action ones, because he's physically able to do more. Like where they like put up their feet, like him like pulling the Staten Island ferry together and stuff like that. The force that would take is more than like Toby or Andrew are able to do. There's like I'll try and find it. There's like a nerdy video of somebody trying to break this down with physics and shit.
Yeah.
So,
Well, like,
I know it's ridiculous. I know, but
you're now reaching at that point. Like that becomes basically nerd reach.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I'm thinking of it as, on a power scale kind of thing. What I'm saying, I feel like Tom Holland's Spider-Man has just done more. You know, he's fought a Sinister Six already. He's like fought Thanos. He's done all this sort of shit, and you know, I find like in a lot of Spider-Man stories, when he comes up to fight Fisk, it's a lot earlier on in his career.
I don't know what else to tell you, man. Like you can try to like tell me otherwise and say that, oh, Spider-Man's like stronger than that. Spider-Man's stronger than Fisk. You can tell me that all you want. Like Fisk has money, he has power, he has like resiliency. There's a reason why they stick around.
I think Fisk's mind is probably more dangerous than his body for sure.
No,
I think so.
No. Yeah. Fisk will kill you.
Not Spider-Man though.
He can literally bear hug you and snap your fucking spine in half. You have like
in comics and stuff, yes, but not in the MCU. I don't think. I think that'd be stupid if he was doing that in the MCU. Because he would need to have like a serum or something. Like he'd need to be like some sort of superhuman.
No, dude, I keep telling you, that's just how Fisk is. He doesn't. He's literally the peak. He is Captain America.
Yeah, but Captain America is
he took a
super soldier. Yeah.
Yes, that's what Fisk is. Yeah. He's just an evil one.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay,
what's up? How are you? I love it. Sorry, Kate's asking a question here. We were talking about. I think you're talking about the Concord game. We were talking about that game a little earlier on in the stream. Yeah. So basically,
we didn't really elaborate on it, right?
Not massively, but I don't think there's really a massive like amount to talk about. I don't think it was controversial or anything. I just think they made the game. They spent a lot of money on it. The game itself just didn't get any, like nobody was playing it. You know, it had less than 200 concurrent players on Steam. There was nobody playing it on PlayStation. They were refusing to give refunds. Now the game has gotten so bad to where they've actually shut down the servers last Friday. And the game does not exist anymore. If you had bought it, they gave full refunds to everybody. So it's literally just the ultimate fail for a launch of a video game. Nobody's playing it. Nobody's buying it. And they've literally given every single person that has bought it a full refund. And that's on Steam, PlayStation, like crazy.
Right.
There was one guy in my Twitch stream who bought it and was enjoying playing it, but I think he said there wasn't like a massive amount of players playing it. Shock. And literally he tried to get a refund last week and they told him no because he had installed the game, but now he's obviously going to get his refund now. So crazy.
Has any other game tickling? I would say Battleborn was another, like that was a Gearbox game that I don't even know if you knew about that game, Finto.
I've never even heard of it. One that pops into mind for me now, it has had a redemption, but was Cyberpunk when that came out. Cyberpunk 2077 had a pretty bad release. There was a lot of people trying to refund the game because it ran terribly on the likes of PS4 and stuff, and it shouldn't have been released on those consoles. Now, it was a kind of similar story where the game was like 8 years in development and it wasn't ready, but they were being forced by the board to release the game because they're like, we have too much money in this thing, just get it out there. And it was one of those games where it was released and there was a bunch of day one patches. Like when a game comes out and has day one patch fixes, you know there's a problem. Like, you know, there shouldn't be patches on day one.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's another kind of story. Now, again, I loved Cyberpunk. I wanted to play it. I played it on day one. I paid full price for it. And there was a couple of like funny little glitches in the game, but for the most part, I had a pretty great playthrough. I played it on PC and it ran fine for me. There was a couple of kind of laugh out loud glitches, but me and the stream like actually enjoyed it. We found it quite funny. Now I know people who bought it on PS4 and got a full refund for the game. It was that bad, you know. So like that's obviously terrible. They've done like a 2.0 release and they released a DLC with Idris Elba, and the game is fucking unbelievable now. Like it's fantastic, and there's a couple of like really like high performance mods coming out for it and everything. Like there's one, like there was like a realistic mod. I don't know if you've seen any videos on that. If you YouTube it there, go on to I think it's like Cyberpunk realistic mod. it's crazy. Like it looks like it looks like real life. Like there's people running around playing it on 4090s, like full graphics, and it looks real. It's insane, bro. So that's one that definitely started bad, but had a big bounce back. I'm trying to think like massive fails. It's a good few games like Battlefield 2042. I thought like was going to be a really big game, and again, it kind of just released and flopped, died straight away. And I think it went free to play, and it kind of clawed a few people back. But it's one of those games that I thought I was going to see loads of people playing on Twitch and everything. But
Which game again?
Battlefront or Battlefield 2042 or whatever it was called.
Oh, I thought you were talking No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky is another one. Yeah, where it was just like,
dude, but it wasn't even their fault. Like
yeah.
it was there was a massive flooding at their headquarters.
Yeah, that's awful.
And they got fucked, and it was very sad. Like I remember going to the PlayStation Experience, and Sean Murphy was there, which I think he was the like kind of the head or like the creative director, or like the creator of it, basically. And dude, like he was tanked at the fucking at the experience. He was drunk. The dude was like
legend.
And like you know, I know, like it was the kind of drunk though that you saw and you're like, oh shit, this guy, there's something wrong. Like this guy's probably freaking the fuck out right now because of the fact that they had, because they lost everything. They had to redo it.
Oh, that's awful.
So like,
awful, dude.
Yeah, and I think he was there with this like significant other, and even she was just kind of concerned. She was like, "Oh shit,
fuck."
But you see him, he's like,
going down with the ship.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Did you see I think they released a final trailer for the Arcane season 2? League of Legends Arcane.
I still haven't seen the first one.
Wow, bro.
Yeah, man.
You gotta watch it.
It's actually I know I need to. Like Zavin's been telling me to watch it for such a long time, and
dude, he's seen it like 110 times. He's like honestly watching it about 110 times. He finishes it and just starts it again. It's in a constant loop since it came out for him. It's insane.
So then I need to pull him out of that loop, because he said that once I watch all of Arcane season 1, he'll start watching One Piece.
Okay, so then what you do is you tell him to text you next time he's on the season finale, and just as he does that loop back around to episode 1, you jump in. You just join the loop then.
Yeah, just go with him, yeah.
Yeah, then when you're done, that breaks the loop. I know it is fantastic though, like, and to a point, it kind of feels like Game of Thrones for me in a sense, because it's like it kind of breaks the genre, if that makes sense, because like Game of Thrones is one of those ones where it was like everyone, like my parents watch it, like friends of mine who aren't like nerds or geeks watch it and they love it, like, you know, whereas this is like an anime or whatever, like an animated series, and like my girlfriend, who would never sit and watch an animated show ever, was watching the show with me going like, this is fucking brilliant, like dying to watch the next episode. And like when it ended, she was like, oh my god, tell me they're doing season 2 and all. Like she was absolutely laser focused on it, like, and is dying to watch season 2. So it's a bit of an anomaly, this show, you know, and like there's great voice acting in it. Yeah, action, everything, just the animation itself. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful show. I'm kind of shocked that they're only doing 2 seasons of it, but I think they're probably gonna maybe do something on a different part of League of Legends or something. I don't really play League, so I don't know anything about it. But I think the Arcane piece is going to be like one arc of the animation or whatever, and then they're going to go and do like a completely different story. Like Arcane itself will end, but like the League of Legends like IP will continue and do something else, if that makes sense. I don't really know. Like I'm kind of shocked it's only 2 parts. Like they've got like really good actors and everything involved in it, and the storyline's fucking fantastic.
Maybe that's all they need.
I honestly, you know, so many times sequels and stuff like that and like expansions and stuff kind of ruin the experience, and they kind of like oversaturate the experience. One thing that pops into mind, the movie Taken, right, with Liam Neeson, you know, the movie Taken. The first movie, I only rewatched it there. I hadn't seen it fucking since it was new, I'd say. Like I hadn't seen it since it first came out. That came out in like 2008. I'd say the last time I probably watched it was like 2011 or something, right? And I watched that movie maybe a couple of weeks ago, and I just thought, fuck, that movie is so good. It's so much fun. It's really cool. Liam Neeson's great. And then you're like, The second one comes out and you're like, do we need this? Do we need part 2?
I
No, we don't.
I mean,
Part 1 was great.
I thoroughly enjoyed it though. Like I still had a good time with 2. I
Do
know
you need
like
3?
no, absolutely
Exactly.
not. No, like 3,
Maybe
3 is
2.
like your
Maybe 2.
no, definitely 2. I think 2 like had a nice feel to it because it also involved the wife. So it
Yeah.
like gave a little bit more of an incentive. But like the third one was literally just I'm about to be
So,
taken.
yeah. I'm being
Like what?
framed and I gotta, it just kind of went off the rails. And then
Yeah.
like another one is like John Wick, for example, right? John Wick 1. If there was only one John Wick movie and it was the first one, you'd be like, holy shit, that movie is amazing. It's
Mhm.
incredible. And if it was a one and done, you'd just be like, Keanu Reeves killed it. Badass movie. Like John Wick as a character, just like this fucking badass, comes out of retirement, slays everybody, and then just fucks off with a new dog. You're like, this is incredible, you know? And then it's like, oh wait, he's back, he's doing a second movie, and then like the third movie's happens in the same day as the second one, and you're kind of like, okay, but the third one you're kind of stretched out. Then the fourth one comes out, and you're just like, oh, just this is fucking ridiculous. Like the fourth one, I actually felt bad for Keanu watching that movie because like you can see he's like much slower and stuff, and you're like, bro, you're done. Like, I don't think you can do this shit anymore. Like, I kind of felt like I was watching an old wrestler who probably should have retired 5 years before, and he's like old and creaky and stuff. Like, Keanu was moving really slow because I know he likes to do all those stunts himself. I've nothing but respect for the guy. Like, I know he's like a professional marksman and all that shit. Like he is John Wick, but he's too old to be doing all these 10-minute long fucking action scenes where he's killing 100 people in a fucking subway station. It's a bit ridiculous. The first John Wick was fucking phenomenal. I think they should have just left it there. That should have been it. One Taken movie, one John Wick movie, and you would have watched these movies and be like, fuck man, these are just action classics.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where your point is, but like I don't know. I just really like Keanu Reeves, man. Like
I love him. I love
yeah.
him. And I love like the Matrix 1 is again another all-time classic. Matrix 2, I have a lot of time for Matrix 2. Matrix 3, I hated when it was new. I was like, oh god, this is not good. It's not a good end to the trilogy. They kind of flopped it. And then the fourth one comes out and you're like, again, Keanu, go away, bro. Do something else, please. Do anything else. Go to Star Wars, be Revan. Like do you know what I mean? Go do something different because Matrix 4 was like Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 were like two of his biggest mistakes, I think. They
Which
were so
ones?
bad. John Wick 4 and Matrix 4.
Oh yeah. No,
Both just
100% like
shocking movies. So we now know Keanu cannot do a fourth movie. He's not able to. So just don't do it. If there's something with Keanu, don't do 4 parts. Just end it at 3.
I mean like any series in my opinion like
For the most part, yeah.
right, except for Harry Potter.
I'm
Yes.
gonna be
Minto, I'd love to hear.
I'm gonna be controversial here, right?
Sure.
So I grew up with Harry Potter. I think I was the same age as Harry when these movies were getting released, like every
Did
year.
you get your wand? Did you get your
No,
robe?
I didn't.
Did you get put into a house?
I did for the game, but no. I went to see the movie every year for my birthday because they used to release them once a year, and would go see every year. They used to come out around my birthday, and me and a few of my friends would go, and we were like aging up with Harry. So like the first like 4 movies for me are just the best in my opinion because I think like after 5 when they start getting a little too old, I don't know, the magic is just kind of gone with them.
It's too old for your taste. What the?
No, like, honestly, like I just think that the back 4 movies aren't as good as the first 4.
Really?
I think like after Goblet of Fire, it goes downhill. Goblet of Fire is incredible.
Oh, dude, I don't know.
Which is the 4th movie. It's my favorite one, and it's the 4th one.
I don't know. I really like the Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah, after the 4th one, they kind of mash together for me because I usually watch them like one after the other, so I kind of forget what happens in which one. I wasn't mad on the last ones and stuff. The last movie was basically just part 1, part 2, right? Deathly Hollows or whatever it was.
Yeah, essentially like so when you're talking about the back end, like which
so from 5 to 8 basically.
5 to 8, really?
Not as good as 1 to 4 in my opinion. I think 1 to 4 is way better.
So what is that? 1 to 4 is like the Sorcerer's Stone, the Chamber of
Chamber,
Secrets,
Prisoner of Azkaban,
Prison of Wrath,
and
and then the Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire. Yeah, they're the best. I think it's a much stronger 4 piece than the second half.
So you
What's
so you
the
love that.
Order of the Phoenix, Half Blood Prince, and then Deathly Hallows 1 and 2, right? I think that's the last 4.
Yep. Well, no. Order of the Phoenix, Half Blood Prince, and then Deathly Hallows 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Did
But
you?
I get different order. I think, yeah, I did.
I didn't hear Half Blood Prince. Sorry.
I did.
I swear.
I swear I did. Go back and watch the replay. No, I just think I've always loved 1 to 4 and 5 to 8. It's just it's not as good.
Gotcha.
There's rumors of Toby and Hugh Jackman coming together in the MCU for, I don't know if it's going to be like a team up movie where it's like Spider-Man and Wolverine. What do you think of that?
Say it again. What?
Toby Maguire Spider-Man and Hugh Jackman Wolverine in a project together.
Like for a movie or?
Yeah. Probably a movie. Probably something to do with Battle World and Secret Wars and stuff, I'd say.
I like anytime I hear Battle World, Secret Wars, I'm like, I'm out. I get tired of hearing it over and over
You
and over.
better
It's
be
like,
in though, because it's
why?
It's gonna take up a few years of our life.
I know,
Think
but
about
like
it.
it's just too much of like, it's coming, guys, it's coming. But it's like, what do you have in between that will make me give a shit about it coming?
I know what we have. Agatha all along. I think like the next time we sit down for a cast, we're gonna have like the first 2 episodes of Agatha all along.
I
The Witch's Road, bro. We're going on a mission. We're going on a walk.
I'm hoping it's okay, but I really do not care about that character whatsoever.
I think the only thing that they could do for this show that will make it interesting is finally bring in Mephisto somehow, and then just because like everyone's been waiting so long for Mephisto, it's like okay, like bring him in, like and then maybe at the end of the Witch's Road, if Wanda's there, that's where she went after Multiverse of Madness. When the mountain fell on her, she went to the Witch's Road.
Mountain fell.
Yeah, that's what happens. She has a mountain fall on her, and then
I
think that's what's gonna happen, bro. I think we're gonna see her at the end of that show.
She died from a mountain.
I don't know if maybe she is dead, and then Agatha brings her back for no reason at all. Like, wouldn't you want to leave her there? It's like fuck you. You took all my powers away, and you left me for dead in a dream world for years. It's like, hey, oh, you're here. Let's bring you back because we need you in the MCU.
Oh man, just I don't know. I feel like they're just like, again, they're all over the place. I don't know what Agatha is going to lead towards. I have a feeling it's going to lead towards absolutely nothing and maybe hint at something being connected, which like probably most of us will never give a shit about unless they actually do it.
I think this is the last kind of project that was one of the ones that was in development where the MCU thought they could just do whatever the fuck they wanted because they were on the top of the mountain. Like what the start of Disney Plus, it was like, let's do shows about this and this and this. And I think this is one of the last ones. This and Ironheart, I would say, are the last 2 shows that are going to be like, why are they doing this? And I think Daredevil Born Again is going to be the first of the kind of back to basics kind of era that they're going for,
Gotcha.
So I think we have 1 or 2 more projects where it's just going to be like, oh, why are we watching this? Yeah. God, oh God. Painful.
No.
Yeah. But I'm down to shit all over it if we have to, but I hope I like it. I would like to come on and have some positive things to say and make some cool clips and put them up on the socials and be happy about an MCU project, but I genuinely feel sorry for Agatha having to follow Deadpool and Wolverine. It's that she's the next project after Deadpool and Wolverine, and that's probably going to be a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people in Marvel. because it's like they're on such a fucking high right now, and it's just gonna nosedive straight back down.
I see what you did there, by the way.
Hell yeah. I saw Tom Hiddleston said that he was coming back as Loki for Avengers 5 and 6, which again, I'm not too shocked about this. Like, it's pretty obvious if you are paying attention to anything at all. Like, you kind of know these next two movies, we've got the Russos back, we've got like McFeely back writing and stuff like that. Like, it's kind of obvious that they're going to bring back like everybody. They've got Robert Downey Jr. back. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's going to want to be in this movie. It's Avengers 5. Hemsworth will be there. Chris Evans will show up in some sort of shape or form. You know, like, it's just guaranteed. Like, and again, now we have like Deadpool, we've got Wolverine, we've got the fucking Fantastic Four. Like, it's just this, the cast is absolutely stacked. You know, like, I just think like everyone's going to want to be in this movie, or these two movies. This you know, Infinity War Part 2, basically. I just feel like,
because it's money.
Exactly, it's money, but it's the next big Marvel thing. Like, you know, it's the next Endgame. So I think they're all gonna want to be there, and I think it will maybe be by the end of Secret Wars, it might be the actual end for a good few of the characters, like a good few of the actors. It might be there, like hanging it all up, like done. You know, end of contracts, end of stories, and then soft reboot at the end. You know, I really think that's what's going to happen. So,
you know, every time you say the word reboot, Finto, I hate you a little bit.
Don't hate the player, bro. Hate the game.
I'm hating the player right now. There's no game to hate right now.
There's a universe out there to hate, and it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they're the ones that are doing this. Not me, bro. I'm just reporting the news.
I'm just the messenger, man.
Exactly. Don't shoot the messenger. Yeah, it's lining up. The timelines are lining up. By the time Secret Wars is over, we're going to be 20 years into the MCU. It kind of just feels like reboot time, you know? 20 years is a long time.
Yeah, which is what we're dealing with in World of Warcraft currently. We're going to be experiencing 20 years in November.
That's sick. That's so cool. Is there a big event or a celebration?
Oh, yeah.
Or
Big event.
New patch or DLC or something coming out for it?
Yeah, basically it's all going to be integrated into a patch coming in November, where essentially we get like memories of all the different bosses we fought in the past, like in classic. And additionally, like there might be I think it's all classic. I don't think it's anything from Burning Crusade. But they have like, you know, Trial of Style type stuff. They have like costumes you can get. They have different mounts you can pick up. They're going to revamp the tier 2 sets that came out a long time ago, and I've seen pictures of them. They look awesome. I'm really excited, and I'm definitely going to be picking those up.
Hell yeah. And they're always like famous for doing like these absolutely stunning like cinematics and stuff like that. So I presume there's going to be some savage cinematics coming out around that time as well.
Maybe, I don't know. It really depends on, because like it really depends on because the idea behind the patch is just to kind of give an homage to all the things that they've done in the past, and all the work that they've you know, essentially done.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with like story. So when it comes to story, yeah, they're absolutely going to make it like a cinematic for it. But
I like watching their cinematics, bro. They're just like, even back in the day, like, as I think I was like an OG WoW player.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure when the game first came out, they were doing like 12-day free trials to it, and I was like still in school. I remember like installing it on like the family computer and playing it for 12 days for free. And I used to like sneak onto the family computer at like midnight, and I'd be playing it until like 2 or 3 a.m. and I'd be like dead the next day going to school because I'd have like fuck all sleep. It's so funny because it's like the life I live now, but I was doing it as a kid trying to play WoW. And then I remember when my free trial ended, like, again, I was a kid, I had no money or anything, and I was just remember thinking like, I'm not even going to try and buy this game, because if I own this game and can play it whenever I want, my life is over. Like, I just knew
you're not going to go anywhere.
I was so addicted in those 12 days that I was like, I can't touch this because my life would be finished. I would never do anything again. Like, so I kind of like had that moment where I just kind of maybe knew like, shit, maybe need to step away from this for my own good. I don't know how I had that epiphany at such a young age, but I just thought, no, I can't do this. Like it will ruin me. Like, and that's why I never played the Old Republic as well, the Star Wars version of it, because I was just like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I was like, I can't do this. Like again, this will just take over my entire life. Because like I loved Knights of the Old Republic, played those games for hundreds of hours back in the day. Like, and just just something like that now, I would do nothing else. It would take up
Hmm.
all my free time.
Gotcha.
So I just know to stay away. It's like heroin, bro. It's like just don't do it and you'll be fine. It's like stay away. Just don't do it, bro. Never take that first hit and you're fine.
It's just so good though. Well, you
Well,
took
that's
your
what they say about heroin too.
yeah, exactly.
It's so good, bro. But yeah, you just gotta stay away for your own sake,
Yeah.
your own health.
And you took your first hit, but like you were like, yeah, this isn't for me. Which I mean, hats
Oh no,
off to you,
it
man.
it absolutely was for me. I loved it, but I just knew that I just at the time. Now again, if something like that had happened to me when I was like 20 and I had my own money and you know what I mean, like I could do whatever I wanted. I was still a kid in school. I was like 12 or something when this first came
Mm.
out. So, I had no money, had no credit cards, no nothing. Like I couldn't have bought the game even if I wanted. And if I went to my parents and said, like, can I buy this game on PC that's an online game that I'm going to be playing all the time? They would have said no anyway, so it
Mm.
just wasn't possible. But I did know myself to just not even try, you
Gotcha.
know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, little Finto knew what he was doing. He saw the danger signs coming. He saw the dangers. Um, I saw
This
one.
is a chick repellent.
Yeah,
No.
not even that, bro. I didn't even give a shit about girls at the time, but like, yeah, I just knew like this was going to take over my entire life. Like, I'd be up till midnight every single night. Like, I'd be sneaking out of bed to go and play this game. It was like being a junkie, bro. Like, I was like, no, I can't do this. Like,
No,
it's
I
just,
totally get that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, one last little rumor I saw there the other day. Apparently, Hayden Christensen was offered a role in the MCU. Don't know what the role is, but there was a lot of kind of talk about him a while ago taking on the role of the Silver Surfer, Norn Grad or Rad or whatever his name is, and he said, or whoever reported this said that it wasn't for the Fantastic Four role. So that's the Silver Surfer role. So it's a different role in the MCU. So we could be getting Hayden coming to the MCU very soon, which wouldn't shock me at all because, as bad as some of these like Star Wars projects and stuff have been, it's the shows themselves haven't been fantastic, but Hayden is getting like such incredible reception and everyone loves him as Vader. They love him back as Anakin. Like he's the kind of shining light of the Kenobi show. He's the shining light of the Ahsoka show as well.
Hmm.
So like he really is in the kind of the fandom right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if like Marvel tried to scoop him up and get him in a couple of projects and try and get him to do something else. Because I've always been a big Hayden fan. Like I liked him in Takers. I liked him in Jumper. Like I think he is a good actor. He did a movie called Awake as well, where he like plays he's like this rich dude, and he has to go in for a surgery, and basically like wakes up on the operating table. Have you ever seen that movie? It's
No.
called Awake. Came out in like 2007. A really good movie. Like he's married to Jessica Alba in the movie, and like he's like this rich kid, but he has like a heart condition. He needs a heart transplant, and he
Mhm.
actually wakes up while he's on the operating table, and he can hear that there's like a scheme to kind of like kill him and take all his money or something like that. Like, and he's kind of on the table like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, and he thinks like the doctor's his friend and stuff, but like the whole movie's kind of like in his head, and it's like him just frozen on the table. It's
Oh
it's
wow.
it's it's really cool. Like, it's a good idea, and like they kind of say at the start of the movie, like there's a saying for what this is called when you wake up during general anesthetic or whatever. Like it's a phenomenon that like maybe 8% of people that go under the needle actually, like, it actually happens to them and stuff. So they just kind of expand on that. Like, and who's else? Terrence Howard's in it as well. He plays like the doctor in it and stuff like that. Like it's a good movie. It's a good movie. And like I thought Hayden was very good in it. So, and this was after episode 3 as well. Like this was when he was finished being Anakin. So, and
That's really cool.
yeah, it was good. Check it out. I don't know if you can get it on streaming over where you are. Like it's not on any of the streaming apps where I am. I actually own a physical disc of it, but it's a good film. It's a good film. Check it out.
Definitely check it out.
There's whispers of Josh Brolin getting cast as Hal Jordan in the Lanterns show. Can you picture Josh Brolin as like an older, kind of seasoned Hal Jordan, maybe? I could see Ryan Reynolds making some fucking jokes about it. That's for sure.
Yeah, like that's definitely what's gonna happen. Is like if Josh Brolin gets cast as this, we're gonna hear Ryan Reynolds being like, "Wow, how the roles have changed." Like
Yeah,
essentially, like
yeah. Oh, there'll
you
be a
know,
Deadpool 4. There's going to be a joke or two about that. Cable being Cable being the they'll make a joke about a lantern and Cable or some shit. Definitely, 100%.
yeah,
Yeah. And have you seen Batista? This is the last thing I want to say because I know we're over an hour and a half. But have you seen Batista lately? He's trimmed down. He's lost all his muscle and everything. He's like real skinny and stuff.
no,
Holy shit, bro! Hang on a sec. See if I can find a picture of him real quick. Uh, he looks. Everybody knows Batista as like the giant dude, like, but he looks like kind of very skinny now.
weird.
It's a little shocking when you see him. Um, sorry, I'm trying to find a picture of him now. Where did I see that picture? I saw a picture of him before the stream, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring this up," and now I can't find it. Typical. I can't find it. I'll send it to you anyway, but it's somewhere. But basically, he's lost all his muscle. He says he's the skinniest he's ever been. He's the lightest he's ever been, but he kind of looks a little sick. Like I know he's not sick,
Yeah,
but he looks sick. Oh, here we go.
interesting.
I think I found it. Hang on. Like it's kind of a thing that happens in Hollywood, right? It's like when actors like lose a lot of weight, people think that they're sick or they think something's going on. But like I think he just kind of said he was sick of being like jacked all the time. And like let's be real, he's a WWE wrestler. He's probably been on steroids for a long fucking time. And like that's probably terrible for his heart. Even he's probably doing it like look at that. Like that was him in 2007. That's him now. Like he is half the man he used to be, literally. Like that is crazy, bro.
I wonder why.
I
Any
think
reason why?
I think he said he was sick of being so heavy, walking around so heavy. He's like it's a big burden to be like that heavy. He's like I don't think
Yeah,
people
I mean,
realize what it's like to be that large and have to carry around that much muscle and stuff. Obviously, he's getting older. His body's probably not as good. Like his knees are probably shit. His back's probably fucked. Carrying around all that muscle, and then like obviously having to be in that shape, probably in the gym 6 days a week, eating fucking 7 meals a day. Like it's a big task. And if he's
it's a
not
huge responsibility.
if he's not Drax anymore, and if he's not doing any like big brute kind of characters, maybe he just doesn't need to. He doesn't need to have the size anymore. I saw we were talking about it in Discord, and one of the guys in Discord just said, "What's what? If they were looking for him as like Kratos or something, like they're going to be like, no, what has he done? He's lost all his time, because like Kratos would be like a really great role for him, but I
Would
think
it?
he can't do it now.
I mean,
Yeah,
would
I
it
don't know,
though?
like well, like looks wise maybe, and like he's a great actor, but. Yeah, I don't know, like throw a big beard on him and give him all the makeup and stuff like that. Like I think he could do it.
I mean, you could throw
Probably,
makeup on me. I'd look the same fucking way.
well, of course, but like he is a good actor. Like I think he's got range. I
Oh,
think a
and
lot
I'm
of people.
not.
Well, I haven't seen you in anything yet, but you know what I mean. Like I think like he's got some range, and I think he could probably do a role like that. Like I
Yeah,
think
I
he'd be
mean,
closer. He'd be closer to doing something like that than playing like James Bond or something. You know what I mean?
uh, Kratos is 193 centimeters tall. What is that in
It's like, is that like 6'8" or something? 7 foot?
6'3"?
Oh, that's not bad.
6'4"?
Is that
Yeah.
that's Batista's height? Is it? Or is that?
Uh, no, Kratos.
Oh wow, Kratos is short for a god.
6'3"? I mean, or 6'4"? Like he's a demigod.
Yeah.
So he's like human. He's
I
mostly
know,
human.
I know. It's just funny when
Sure.
you see him going up against Thor and stuff, and it's like he just looks so tiny compared to the rest of them.
Well, yeah, because that's essentially the whole point is like the like the gods tower over him.
Yeah.
And so like they see him as like an insignificant being that couldn't possibly destroy them.
But he does. And
Yep.
it's great. Yeah, dude. I love it. Man, I love those games. They're so good. Anyway, I think that's it for the week, unless you have anything you want to bring up before we depart.
Nothing in
No.
particular. No.
Yeah. I'm not going to be around next week. I'm going to be in Paris. So there'll be no cast next Sunday, but I'm back the week after. So if you're around, we'll probably talk about Agatha and any other nerdy news in between.
Okay.
So yeah, guys, thank you anybody who's listening this long. If you're new to the channel, drop the subscribe, drop a like on the video, leave us a comment below if you're listening to us on a replay, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Later.